Welcome to A Word from the Wise, the podcast from Solwise, where we talk about products, news, or anything that you might be interested in within the industry. We do these on Spotify, Amazon Music, or anywhere where you get your podcast from. Or if you prefer to see us, you can scare yourself and go and watch us over on YouTube and enjoy today's podcast. Hello, welcome to A Word from the Wise, back here with Daniel, and today we're going to talk about the cloud range from EnGenius of managed switches and access points. We have over the years done the Neutron range, the NSky range and the Fit range. We did for 5 minutes a few years back do the cloud range, didn't we?
Yeah.
But took the decision to not continue with that and to focus on the Fit range. And so after that brief hiatus, we're now back doing cloud, and I think it'll make a welcome return for people. I think there's enough people who are interested that we thought it would be worthwhile to stock those again. So I suppose the first question is, it says it's managed by cloud, but what does that mean? How is it really managed? What do you have to do?
Yeah, so how it all works is there's an EnGenius Cloud online interface portal, which you can access via your just a website, or via a cloud app, which is I think what they want people to use. It's quite a good app.
So you mean specifically an app to go on your phone or your tablet, that type of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or there's a web portal you can use as well if you don't
Yeah.
want to do that. And obviously you register your devices to that, your access points and your switches. You can do it via serial numbers, via scanning QR codes. Some of them have QR codes that they come with.
Yeah.
And if they're online and connected to your network, then they can be on that and be active with it. So obviously it's cloud, so you don't need any specific on-site controller or anything like that.
Yeah.
And it's got all the usual cloud advantages. So if there's a problem with anything, you don't need to send an engineer to travel to the site to deal with it.
So you
can just do it remotely,
Yeah.
in minutes via doing whatever you need to do on the cloud app via what they let you do there. So that saves a lot of time and cost in the travelling.
If that's the case, then is it something that you could pre-configure like if you were the installer, you could pre-configure and send out to 5 different shops, just send them the access point, they mount it up and plug it in?
You can register the access point ahead of time and send it out to them.
Yeah.
What it does let you do quite well in the cloud interface is it lets you divide all the access points and switches into certain groups, which you can give names. So you can have a group created for every individual site that they're on. So they're easy to divide like that. So you've got if they were in this building, nearby, you can have one group for that. If there's one down at the north of Scotland or something, you can have a group for them.
So could you group by your different customers as an installer? You could just run it and then have
easy.
customer
Just
1, customer 2,
any access
customer
point that
3.
goes to them, you just put them in the same group. It's easy to do, and it's very good. So you can do various things in there in terms of configuring them, firmware updates when they come in, monitoring them. You can get quite detailed with the monitoring, like you can look at live updates of, say, the current throughput activity of each individual access point, see which access points get the most use.
So some quite good reporting tools in there, really.
You can do things like look at what apps and websites are the most used, like you can see if everyone's just on Facebook or something all day.
And can you block somebody as well?
You can block individual users and stuff, and you can see if there's any unauthorized users connected in that way.
Yeah. So could you block somebody via the group, for instance? Like if we said customer 2 has got 5 access points on it, and could you block it across all 5 of those access points? Or is that not straightforward?
Don't know.
You
can kick them off.
I was just thinking if you had
you can add their device to a blacklist. So I suppose you could do that.
Yes, but excellent. So they're wall and ceiling mounted, I'm assuming, just like all standard EnGenius.
They're that typical kind of design where they're quite easy to mounting a wall or a ceiling if that's how you want to do them. Like they come with you can see we've got here the brackets that let you do that. They come with all of them, quite easy to do.
Yeah.
So
they come with quite a lot of bits and pieces, really, don't they? And all the screws and the different types of screws you might need depending on where you're mounting them. So, yeah. Excellent. So, with regards to the Wi-Fi, then, obviously we've got AX, AC, and all the Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6, and all that these days. What do these cover?
So the ECW 130 that we do is an indoor AP that does Wi-Fi 5, which is still quite standard in a lot of places. And then the other
and is that the lower level? That's the I don't want to use the word lower level.
That was the standard until
entry
about
level. Yeah.
Two. My sense of time has gone off since COVID hit. But
that's because 2 years disappeared.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's been about maybe 3 years since Wi-Fi 6 became more of the norm. But so the other access points we do for this are Wi-Fi 6. So that's the ECW 230 and 356, which are both indoor, and the ECW 260, which is outdoor rated. They're all Wi-Fi 6, so they have like 8 internal Wi-Fi antennas, over a gig just for 2.4 gig, over 2 gig for 5 gig, and then they do 6 gig as well. So
and then
they're very top-end access points.
There's the 336, which I've got written down here, which is a 4x4 tri-band one.
Yeah, so that's even more.
Yeah. Never ending.
Not even on the website, I don't think that one yet.
Yeah, I think it is. I might be wrong, but I thought it was. So there's an indoor and outdoor one. Where would you use the outdoor one then, do you think?
Well, if you wanted Wi-Fi access in an outdoor area, just like, car park or just any outdoor area, if you're using it on like a public site and you want people outside to have Wi-Fi.
And historically we've done quite well with campsites and the like. Do you think it might be quite useful for that type of thing?
It's perfect for that kind of thing.
Okay. The outdoor one and I'm assuming the same for the indoor one, all powered by PoE?
Yep, they're all powered by the same PoE standard. And to help with that, almost all the cloud switches that you can get, the ECS switches, provides that kind of PoE to power them.
Yeah.
So we've got 8 port, 24 port, and a 48 port one.
So I imagine that these can be used for little venues, big venues, and so on. Is there any reason why you might not want to perhaps even use them at home? Do you think there'd be much call for them at home use?
Other
than cost, I'm thinking.
Against it. Yeah, I mean, obviously they're quite expensive because they're so powerful.
Yeah.
So maybe if you don't use your internet much at home, there may be a bit overkill for that. If you just browsing Facebook and occasionally streaming stuff. But if you've got like a household with a lot of people that are streaming their own things on their own devices and doing online gaming and stuff, then they can fit in quite well, and still you're not going to ever really find yourself buffering as long as you've got a good internet coming in the first place. Yeah, but they're never going to hold you back at all. They're very, very powerful.
Or if your
devices.
home's a stately home, that might be useful.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they've got like 8 or more internal embedded antennas means they're good for coverage as well.
Yeah. Well, when we've got the kit, we can perhaps do more of a how-to type video, so that we can get some kit together and perhaps do a webinar for resellers and anyone who might be interested in that. And EnGenius do have the academy as well, where resellers can go and do training and become EnGenius certified partners as well, which I think is a really good idea. We used to offer the training ourselves, possibly before your time, but we stopped.
I did the training.
I think you might have done actually, just as you started, didn't you?
Yeah.
But since they started doing their own training, it's much more intense and much better, I would say. So I think that it'd be well worth resellers having a look at the partner portal and the EnGenius Academy, which we can put links to in the description below as well. So I think that's probably about it for now. Do you think? Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I think. Do they still have a demo, the EnGenius, for how the interface works?
They do, yes. There is a demo site, and then also in the partner portal they've got the Easy Wi-Fi Planner,
Yeah.
Where people can go in, make heat maps and makes pretty things for when they're doing
the blueprints of your layout.
Yeah, depending on what level you pass the training, it depends on what level you can use in the partner portal. But you can upload site maps to create the heat maps. And once you've got your site map on there, it tells you how many access points you should use in your particular location, and then you can create the report for your customer within their program, which is a really neat solution, I think. But you can do that across all of their range. So even the fit stuff that we've done, that we still do, but that we've done recently, it was the same for that as well.
Yeah. So yeah, those are good online resources, and if you look through the demo, you can see how deep of an interface it is with all the things it lets you look at and do. So they might be good to have in the description.
Yeah. And in particular, I suppose, if you're using the outdoor one, we've got our own elevation tool on the website as well, haven't we? So if you wanted to do a building to building type thing,
elevated enough to be over the surrounding environment.
Yeah, it's quite a well used tool, that elevation tool. People around the world send us emails, that if it goes down, because it's Google generated, if it goes down, they want to know why it's not there. They've never bought anything from us. They just use the elevation tool. Perhaps we need to start charging for it.
Yeah.
Right then, so I think we're about done there. We'll look to make some more videos on this, because I think this is going to be another growing part of the product range with EnGenius and Solwise partnering up. Which is nice to get back on track really with EnGenius. We've been partners with those for over 20 years. And so, this is nice to see some expanded on their product range with us again, isn't it?
Yep.
Excellent. Well, that's it for us for now. We'll see you next time. Thank you for either watching or listening to today's podcast. If you've got any ideas, pop us an email over to sales@solwise.co.uk, and we will see you next time.